I'm so excited here to have you in this live session. Just bear with me a moment. Why we are here. Obviously, we are entertaining the people from across. So we have the viewers joining in from India, we have the viewers joining in from Bangladesh, we have the viewers joining in from Nepal, Nigeria, Brazil. So, hey guys, we are equally excited to host you up here, to have you up here, and to answer the questions. Uh, First of all, if you haven't done so far, just a couple of things. On your right inside top corner, you would have a sign in notification. So just sign into your account to view this so that you can chat with me live while this session is going on. Now, I'm super excited to again answer you live on this session here from Montreal, Canada. And I'm even happy to have the students, the future students to Canada, to my network, the agents, the consultants who have made such a hard work in making this event so successful from across the world. So thank you to everyone, and let's stay tuned. So to start with, I had some questions saying that why this streaming? I mean, why you are supposed to be online here? So, guys, I think in this COVID situation, the things are happening a little differently. The Canadian immigration is facing a tremendous amount of challenges, and I'm so happy as again to be a part of this system, and we are successfully taking those challenges ahead as well. There's lot many new temporary policies that has come across. There are not many new regulations that we have to refer to. With the changing conditions, with the changing situations, we are adapting, and I believe that whichever part in the world that you are from as well, you are also trying to adopt the situation. But I must say that it's going on great here in Canada. It's the life is a little different as compared to many other parts of the world. We are slowly resuming towards going towards normal. So that's really exciting to inform to everyone. 2020, we have witnessed a situation that we haven't witnessed before, but I think summer 2020-21 and moving forward is going to be a great time forward. So again, to answer your question that why this live streaming, guys, the simplest most answer is for you. We here are busy again entertaining the people who are already within Canada, rather they are a visitor, rather they are on a work permit, rather they are students. And the Canadian immigration has amplified its efforts to keep those people within Canada. So we are having pathways for those, even just the visitors who are stuck here in Canada, and if they are found worthy enough for the Canadian economy, I mean to say, if they find some work, we are happy to provide them work permit while within Canada. In the same way, the students, I'm sure that you heard about the big 90,000 temporary policy to make the international graduates and the essential workers here in Canada to be permanent. So this is a momentous situation where we have never done this before in Canada, and we are open-handedly coming towards you and saying that, hey guys, if you find your future here in Canada, if you think you are worthy enough for Canada, and if you find and that this is the place that you want to stay, we are happy enough to provide you with the permanent residentship. Now, having said that, my office is completely busy out right now, with so many applications pouring in for the people who are already within Canada and would want to stay and continue their journey within Canada. But having said so, we are not leaving the people who are outside Canada behind, because remember one thing, we need more than 1 million people in every 3 years of an immigration plan. Remember the fact that we are moving towards more and more talented people to come to Canada to make the economy as vibrant as possible. So really, guys, if you have that eligibility, if you have that kind of qualifications to come here in Canada, we are always happy to entertain. Now I understand that for this year, and there are been challenges for the people for coming from outside to Canada, and which is understandable, totally understandable. But this situation may not prevail forever. So we hope for the best time to come. To be honest, we hope for helping you out in the future, and that's why, I mean, this is one of the session which is very futuristic, in terms that we would want to assist those people who are looking forward towards Canada. But understand one thing very clearly from what has happened these days. Number one, from whatever temporary or permanent policies Canada Immigration is looking forward, it is signaling very clear to everyone that we here in Canada respect and appraise two things very clearly. Number one is a Canadian education, and number two is a Canadian experience. So I understand you could be well worthy enough where you are, you could be well qualified enough in what you're doing in whichever country you are. But again, guys, unless you come here in Canada, unless you study here in Canada, and unless you are very much within the Canadian system, the local Canadian market will not obviously provide you with the kind of benefits that otherwise you can. So do not wait otherwise for having a work permit done here in Canada and then come here, because really we have people here in Canada who can work. So the immigration department is not very much looking forward to have the people bringing from outside Canada unless it is really, really required. And that's a whole lot of different process. Now, in this session, I think I can cover a very limited thing. And there are surprises at the end of this session as well. It's too compact. I mean, like, there are too many informations which are supposed to be shared in this session. So stay tuned that way. Jumping out to the benefits, I think this session is precisely for two kind of people. Number one, that those tons and lots of people who have been asking me so many questions from many days, and I'm not unfortunately been able to answer because of my schedule. This is one of the platform that I'm going to make sure that I can answer your questions live and in a way that which makes sense for you. So the surprise obviously at the end of this session, but this is one of the audience that I'm having this session hosted for, so that if you are from outside Canada and if you need any more information, I can give you live, and the future students basically who wish to come to Canada. The second lot of people is obviously I have those agents, the consultants, the lawyers who are always connecting with me from outside Canada, and they had always wanted to have a hand here, someone who can look after this relationship in a better way, because the things are very dynamic here in Canada. So you got to really look forward very sincerely in the way that you're doing the things. And the guys who are coming here on studies, you bring us billions of dollars to this economy, and you have a real right to obviously ask the questions you have a right to do the things in a correct way. So that's why I think this session is for you guys to help you as much as possible and to connect with me, so I can answer your questions in a group. You can learn from each other. I'm going to make this a habit in the future, so you can come to me live in the future as well. Jumping down to why Montreal. This time that I am communicating with you, guys, Montreal is a well vibrant city in Canada. This is the second biggest, the largest city, hosting around 2 million people here, and literally from every part of the world. It has 3 English universities, very well known: McGill, Concordia, Bishop's University. So these universities are hosting thousands of students, and it's known for its quality. But not just that, it is also having more than 48 government institutions here in Quebec, more than 68 private institutions here, and so on and so forth. So this place is really vibrant for the people who are intending to come here and study, and more importantly, I mean, the kind of experiences that I had from my past clients, or the students, or the immigrants who are coming into Canada, they always found this place to be an excellent place to reside. So they have a wonderful experience by now. Students enjoy it for sure at all the time, and that's why the session again, that Montreal is a place where you can experience Canada as it is. Not to forget that French is the second language here in Canada. So Canada is a bilingual country, and if you know even whatever level of French as a language, you will go really far into your immigration. So obviously, for that reason, now jumping straight to the topic that we are to discuss here. So welcome again formally to all of you. We're going to talk more of our students today here in this session. I'm going to cover a few of the things. Just to start with, I represent Bellwood Immigration. So we are a boutique immigration law firm. So here we are providing services in the area of business immigration, temporary visas, so which includes your study permits and your work permits, and your super visas and visitors and refusals to deal with, and so on and so forth. So all that stuff that we deal with here in Canada. And apart from that, obviously, we deal with many other immigration programs, including the family sponsorships and the programs which are not an immigration program, like the HNCs, we also deal with. So all sort of immigration applications that we deal with. So it's really a boutique immigration firm. In terms of something importantly that I want to explain you is the fact that see guys, you are supposed to have your eligibility cleared before coming into for an international studies. So that's all up to your end. So the kind of academics that you have, what have you scored into it, your mark sheets talks a lot. In addition to it, the language skills, they are must. I have questions that I'll answer at the end of this session where people say that, can I come without my IELTS? So stay tuned. I'm going to answer that as well. And the second part is obviously moving forward is the admissions, and we have our agents, we have our immigration not the immigration but the admission consultants, to say, who are making an enormous amount of efforts in bringing you to a right program, but there are challenges they are also facing, but this is all really what you are supposed to do it from your end. Furthermore, the immigration is not a part. So let me explain you this thing very clearly, that immigration is a very formal part of the process. Not everyone can handle that, and that's why I made this cross, because either you should do your own immigration and have your application done, or otherwise you should have a formal people who can represent you to the Canadian immigration. If you don't do that, you sometimes get penalized for that. So your visas get refused and so many other things that happens if you do the things the wrong way. And that's why it's so important. International education is much more than local, that you can see from this diagram very easily. Now, who are supposed to do that? So in terms of your immigration files, it's only and only the immigration consultant, the regulated consultants, who the Canadian government gives a clear permission to handle the file. These are the lawyers, these are the notaries, these are the paralegals, only in Ontario. So basically, those are the people like us who can deal with the immigration. So there is a great deal of risk involved into this. So please do not, either you do it yourself or you hire someone to do it. Now, one of the great benefit that I'm just announcing, and it's a big benefit I'm announcing right now, is the fact that the college that I'm going to present straight after this slide is someone who you can do the application. The email address of mine is just underneath my presentation going on in the YouTube, so you can send your documents there. And literally, I'm not going to charge anything. It's totally free for you to do that. So that's free for the future students. If you would want to make an application right now with your correct documents, or even for everyone who is joining me, so all the businesses, I know your efforts that you're putting across. So either you are an agent, you are an admission consultant sitting in any part of the world, and you want to connect with me, I'll make sure that your students' application happens, the immigration applications happens here for free, and you get every little benefit that you are getting from the college. So I'm not going to have any cut into that part, because I know you're doing your best to guide the students, and you should be getting your part of the commercials. So that's there. One small little thing, Canadian immigration department and the government is doing a lot in the fraud prevention areas. And in your country, either it on the Facebook, either it be on online, they have a special link on the CIC who mentions the same thing what I am talking right now. So no one else apart from the official people should handle your immigration, and they have so many different ways into which we know for the fact that they understand where the application is happening from. And if it is not happening from a genuine sources, then it's difficult. Your application is not nicely represented. So be very careful about who you are giving your documents to. And in this presentation, I'm just going to make sure that you guys could enjoy the fact that you do the things in a right way. Okay, so without getting any more into details, let me straight away jump into getting the college in line with you. Let me connect with them, and straight after that we'll go to the question answer sessions, and I'll go a little slow after that, so obviously you can understand what I'm saying at that.
Yeah.
Hey Vivek. Sorry, you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi. Sorry, I was actually in another call. Like I just received the call when you started the meeting, so that's why I couldn't speak at the time.
Not a problem at all, Vivek. We are so glad to have you here. Thank you very much for the time today.
Thank you, Hardik.
Just to quickly present yourself to the audience today, Vivek Sharma is a student recruitment manager with Trebus. He's stationed out of Montreal, Canada. He is looking after many applications and the profiles coming and loading it to him all the time. He has a tremendous amount of experience in terms of recruiting students for college and university.
Yeah.
And as well as he has been dealing with the people from around the world stationed from Canada right now. But he has an ample amount of experience stationed out of USA, UK, India, the Mumbai that he is originally from, and he has been interacting with people from across the world. So with your great exposure, experiences, and the knowledge, and this presentation is going to be very much important and key for us to understand in terms of the admissions to the college. So without wasting any more time, I'll just like to straight away hand it over to you, and thanking you once again to start and connect with us.
Thank you very much, Hardik. And that was such a nice introduction. Thank you for your kind words. My name is Vivek Sharma, and I'm currently supporting Travis Institute in terms of recruitment of the students, and I'm helping students from across the world. So I'm currently taking care of South Asia, Southeast Asia, Latin America, and all different parts of the world. So before like, let me start the presentation right away so that you can see what I'm going to be talking now.
Sure.
Okay, let me know once you're able to see my screen.
Yes, it's all good.
Okay, perfect. Okay, something. Okay, so Travis as an institute, we started more than 40 years back. And so in 1979, we started as an institute which focused specifically on music and entertainment related programs. But eventually we grew from that kind of institute, and now we are delivering various different kinds of program to our student. We are still a very career focused college. We have the courses in entertainment, like music business administration, music production, mixing of sound designing, and we have e-commerce, we have got event management. So we have different kinds of program. However, we still focus a lot on excellence, innovating new things. So when a student come and study with us at Travis, the core focus is trying to develop that out of the box thinking in our students, and then developing those skills which are currently needed in the market. So that's our current focus for our students. Our current president is Louisa Tanzi. She's been with us for last 20 years. She's a McGill graduate. She's a CPA. She's also board of member for various associations here in Canada. And she also is like she's involved with the faculty. She does deliver some guest lectures once in a while. So she is an integral part of the institute, and her focus is also keeping the student profile diverse, developing those skills. So that's what she believes in. This is a quick video of Travis Institute before we go further.
Sure.
So that was a quick, sorry, yeah. So that was a quick video about the Travis Institute, and it shows how our students study.
Right.
So there is a lot to talk about Travis Institute because we have a history of more than 40 years, but I would talk about a few things. For example, our location, we are currently based in downtown Montreal. We have a campus just next to the McGill University, or I would say McGill University Station. So in terms of location, it's very centralized. So if in case somebody is looking for part-time work or anything, it's just around the campus. Or if they are looking for full-time work, they can go between the lectures and give an interview, come back for the second lecture. So that is also possible when you're studying at Travis Institute.
Right.
We have thousands of alumni. We have alumni who have won Grammy nominee and a lot of different alumni who have actually achieved a lot in the industry, especially in the music and film industry. Apart from that, we also give our student a lifetime career support. So if a student is studying at Travis Institute, they can be rest assured that no matter if they have graduated today or they want to have the career support today or they want to come back after 5 years, we will still provide them the same kind of career support if you are our current student. We have students from a lot of different parts of the world. So currently we have students from more than 40 countries, and which I will be talking about later. And all the programs are accredited by the Quebec Ministry, as well as we are a DLI approved institution. All the programs has an option of studying in English and French. So that's something very unique about us. If the student is a French-speaking student, they want to study in French, they can study. If they want to study in English, they can study in English as well. Campus, we have a very, very modern and the music-focused campus because we were originally a music and entertainment-related institution. So we have the recording studios, we have the audio and video filmmaking equipments, we have post-production studios. So for example, once a video or the music has been made, it requires a lot of editing. So we have all those different kinds of equipment for our students because generally these kind of equipments are really, really expensive. So students can practice on those equipments, and once they actually go in the industry, and these are the same industry equipments which are used in the film and music industry currently.
Right.
Like I said, we are a DLI and accredited institute by the Ministry of Quebec. So this actually shows our accreditations. So this is our student diversity. If you see the major chunk of our students, they are still the local Canadian students. We currently have students from 43 different nationalities. We have students coming from Bahamas, India, Germany, France, and all different countries. And still, our biggest focus is having that right kind of diversity and mix of students, because what happens when a student who is coming from India or I would say Philippines, they are investing so much in their education and they do want to get that experience of studying in Canada. So we want to have the right mix where they can actually interact with the Canadian students as well as the international students. So this actually shows our diversity in the classroom.
Right.
Currently, we have got two programs, although we have a lot of programs. However, for international students, we have got two programs where they can get the postgraduate work permit. One is e-commerce and online business management, and the second is audio and video post-production. Both the courses are 2-year program, and the student can get up to 3 years of work permit.
Right.
Before I get into the course detail, I would quickly like to share a bit about our faculty. So we have got a lot of faculty members. However, there are a few who are really accomplished. So Jeff Wright is one of our faculty member who has more than 15 years of industry experience, and he has produced and directed so many movies, and you can see so many awards he has received, including a famous TV show called The Family Guy, if you have seen. So he was one of the producers of that show. Apart from that, he has his own company where he produces and directs film and movies. Emmanuel is Director of Studies at Montreal campus. Again, Emmanuel has a lot of experience in terms of teaching. He has a lot of experience in developing curriculum for students. He has been part of various associations in the Quebec in terms of developing the course material. So he comes from academia. He does not have the experience of the industry, but he has years of experience where he has been part of different kinds of studies and developing educational material, and he has been teaching for more than 10 years.
Right.
And Dr. Cal, so he is again a Toronto-based filmmaker, part of our filmmaking department. He has I think more than 15 to 20 years of experience. He has a PhD program as well in terms of film studies, and he has a lot of recognition and awards. And he has been best known for his movie called Cannibal Roberto. So again, a lot of experience in terms of film. He's really well known in North America and Canada. His films have been shown in the Cannes Film Festival, Toronto Film Festival, and various film festivals.
So you have a great mixture. I would say that someone who is acquainted with the industry experience as well as who is really passionate to teach and pass on the knowledge, right?
Yes, we do. And this is just a few faculty members I've shown, and we have got more than 20 different faculty members who come from industry. So they have their studios, or they're working as directors, and they're currently teaching our students.
Right.
So our e-commerce and online business management program. When I first read the title of the program, it looks like, okay, I'm gonna only study about e-commerce or probably online business management program, and probably I want to study I want to work in a different kind of field. So I would like to share, if you study this program, you definitely can work in e-commerce industry like Amazon and all these different kind of online stores like Walmart and stuff. However, it is not only limited to those kind of companies. You can work in digital marketing field for any company, to be honest. So for example, currently, and especially because of COVID, every company has some sort of digital presence. So you can work in their digital marketing department as a social media manager, digital account manager, and in various functions like coordinating the digital marketing. But if in case somebody who doesn't want to work in that, they still can work in the traditional functions, like they can work in the retail sector, they can work in stores. So the program will teach them a lot of things.
And I think absolutely in this COVID situation, we are practically into the online business altogether, right?
Yep. Because of COVID, yes, it has suddenly created a huge demand in the market for the students who have this kind of experience. In the past, I would say, if you talk about 5 years back, everyone would think about traditional business courses, but now everyone wants their staff to be specialized in the areas which are 21st century, and e-commerce and online business management is exactly the same what employers are looking for.
Of course.
Yeah. So in this program, like I said, it's not only the digital part or e-commerce industry, it also focuses you, it also teaches you how to start a business, how to run a business. So a lot of time it happens, our students come and they say they want to start their own business. So this program will teach them that as well. You'll learn how to create marketing plan, how to run a store, financial and business data analysis. It will teach them the CRM skills. So it will include a lot of things. And these are the modules which they'll be studying. So if you see the modules, even although it's very, very online focused program, but we teach you auditing and reporting. It's very accounting focused. And out of 4 in the first semester, 2 courses are related to accounting and financial studies. If you go into the second semester, It teaches you spreadsheets and the application. So again, it's very important if you are running a business and you don't know how to manage things on a spreadsheet or an Excel, it would be really difficult. Then we also teaches you how to manage your sales force, like the people who are actually driving the sales. And so many other things we teach you in this particular program.
Right.
Now, the audio and video post-production, when I talk about this particular program to the students, they think, okay, they need to know about audio and video. No, that's not 100% correct. This is actually a very technical program. Even if you don't have any idea about the music or film, you still can study this particular program. Because it's technical, it teaches you about how to edit things, okay? So, for example, there is a movie or a film which has been made, and there was an action scene. During those scenes, they do a lot of things, like they hang the actor with the wire and all. But once it has been done, a graphic designer is required to remove those extra things out of that scene, okay?
Right.
And in this program, we teaches you all those different kinds of things. Let's assume a song has been made, but when you're but after the song, the post-production team requires to remove all those noises out of that song, do some auto-tuning, and for all these things, you don't need to know the music or the video production. You just need to know the technical part of it.
So the
this
technology behind editing, which would have the tools, the softwares and the hardwares, or the tools again, which is required to edit that. I'm a layman, but I'm just listening to you.
Okay, yeah. That's what like when I started working with Travis, to be honest. I thought, okay, this is audio video post-production. That means students need to know the music, they need to know how to make videos. But eventually I realized it's not. It's very, very technical program. It requires how to edit the voices, how to edit the songs, removing those ambient noises like footsteps and all these different kinds of things. So it just removing, like once the music has been made or the video has been made, it makes those things better. And that's the focus of this program.
All right.
And if you see the modules, for example, we teach 3D animation. Mm-hmm. We teach you graphic designing. We teach you analysis. So for example, if you play this music on this much frequency, how it will react with the environment and all these different kinds of things. So a lot of technical stuff is there, and this program is so technical that a student has to be on campus to learn this particular program. We cannot deliver lectures virtually for this particular program because it requires the student to practice on the equipments which we have on the campus, and it requires a lot of practical work. So during the lecture hours, faculty will give them the practical exposure. Okay, you need to do this, you need to synchronize the song, mixing, editing, motion graphics. So a lot of things will be there in this particular program.
Excellent.
Apart from the studies, our core focus is also on the career services. Like I said in the beginning, we focus a lot on the careers because we are a career college, so that is one of the core things we want to do for our students. So once a student starts, they can come to us and we can help them with a lot of things, like how to build a CV or LinkedIn profile, internships, part-time jobs, or if they have any different kind of career interest, we can help them out. We can support them with the career they want. Sometimes it may happen students are not sure what should I do. So we have an in-house psychological assessment. So our career counselor used to work with the McGill University in the past, and she has a lot of experience. She's a psychologist herself, and she can do your psychometric assessment. And on the basis of that, she can also help you in identifying the right kind of career for yourself.
That sounds really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as you start your program, your career services will work with you. So one part of your studies is focusing on the lectures and doing what you do on a regular basis, which your faculty members will say. On the side, you will also receive a lot of emails from our careers team. So there will be seminars, there will be workshops, there will be some guest lectures from the industry professionals who will be talking about, okay, what you need to succeed in the current environment. So all those different kinds of things will be happening. And if in case student is still needing more understanding, or if you need more support, they can always book an appointment with our career services team, and they can help them out with whatever career related need they have. And this will be with them for 2 years. So all these things will be happening during the 2 years time. Plus, we also connect our students with the industry partners. So these are some of our industry partners, and you can see we work with Sony, we work with Sennheiser, we work with Radio One, we work with so many different music and studios here in Montreal.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
In terms of admission, our process is very simple. We need passport, we need birth certificate, we need academic documents, plus a proof of French or English. And the documents should be either in English or French.
Right.
This is how our process works. I know Quebec is a little different, so that's why I thought I should talk about it. In other Canadian province, once you have an LOA, you directly apply for your study permit. However, in Quebec, once you have an LOA, you apply for CAQ, and then you apply for your study permit and work permit and health insurance and all these things. So that's how the process works. Right. However, I would like to emphasize that if once you submit your documents, Travis Institute is really fast. We have a process in place, and we'll be able to help you in getting your work offer within 24 to 48 hours.
Excellent.
The proof of English for our students, we need 5.5 from most of the world except the South Asia. So in IELTS, we need 6 overall from South Asia and 1 band 5.5. South Asian countries include India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka. So all these countries are from where we need 6 overall in IELTS. But all other tests, it's still the same. We accept TOEFL, we accept PT, Duolingo, so we accept all different kinds of English tests.
Excellent.
We can also accept French because we have courses in French, and we do get a lot of French students from Morocco, from some African countries. We also get students from Europe. So if somebody is not from a French-speaking country, but they still want to study French with us, they can, and they just need to provide us the B1 level in any of these 3 tests.
Right.
Let's assume if a student does not have IELTS or any other English test, they can take the language gallery test. It's an online test. A student can take the test once they have received an offer from us, except the South Asian students. So, and once they have taken the test, we give you the result within 48 hours. And once you have the result, student can decide whether they want to take the test or they can continue with our pathway program.
Right.
We also have a lot of scholarships. We have got scholarship worth $4,000, plus we also have a scholarship worth $10,000. Scholarships are based on eligibility and based on a lot of other factors, but most of the time it happens our students are getting at least $4,000 scholarship when they start a program this year.
Excellent.
And in terms of refund policy, we have 100% refund guarantee for the students in case of visa refusal or if they are withdrawing from the program before signing the contract.
Right.
Perfect. So that's pretty much it.
Excellent. I think that was so much informative. And within a pretty short period of time, you covered many aspects of this discussion. But having said that, I do have questions for you, and the questions are pouring in like anything. So let me just start asking you. It's going to be look like a rapid fire round for you,
Sure.
but those are so important questions again. So I'm going to start with the admission process questions here. Uh, Now there are so many viewers who are asking about the admission application deadlines. Now, I understand there is one part of an immigration that I deal with, and we make sure that the candidate remains with sufficient amount of time to make their application process, depending on the country they are applying it from. But in addition to that, these are some stricter deadlines that the student has to meet. So the stricter deadlines would be your deadlines. So can you brief us about that?
So, Hardik, we don't have actually any strict deadlines, to be honest. We have got 4 intakes in a year,
Right.
and we have already completed our 2 intakes, which was January and April,
Hmm.
and now we have got July and September intake. So
Right.
that's why we don't put any deadlines, because if somebody who has missed out on a deadline, they can always apply for our next intake, and we have intakes in every 3 to 4 months.
Right.
So that's why we don't have much deadline. But once a student has received an offer from us, they have to let us know within 4 weeks of getting an offer that they would like to accept the offer or would like to decline it.
Excellent. So if I put it brief, if we have candidates straight away after this session who would want to apply right now, we're sitting on the 29th of April. And if you would want to have an application on 30th of April, or latest says in the first week of May, can they apply for the fall intake, which is a September intake?
Definitely. So let's assume if they apply on the 1st of May, they'll get their offer letter within 24 to 48 hours. Once they have an offer, they can uh, pay the registration fee, which would be $250, and
Right.
we'll issue them an LOA.
Right.
Once they receive an LOA from our side, they can apply for CAQ. Depending on the time, how long CAQ will take, generally it says 20 business days, but
Right.
sometimes it happens, people do get earlier, sometimes it happens, it takes more time as well. So
Right.
depending on how long the CAQ is taking, they can apply, once they have CAQ, they can apply for their study permit. And September intake still seems possible. But
Mhm.
let's assume if the student has applied for a study permit and has not received the study permit and they're waiting for it. So we do have a provision where students can start studying online from their home countries while
Right.
they're waiting for the study permit.
Right. Okay. So this brings me down straight to another question, saying that if they are for any reason not able to visit Canada on a time when their program is starting, uh, do you take care of their online studies, and for how long that you would provide them that facility?
So as per the Canadian government, students can study up to 50% of their program online. So we can support students with up to 50% of online studies. However, if things change in future, government says, no, now the 50% rule is not anymore applicable, then students would have to fly immediately to Canada to study with us. Or if in case they change, okay, now students can study 100%, they can
Yeah.
study 100%.
Right. And this includes the post-production program, the audio and video post-production, right?
Unfortunately, no, because it's a very practical program.
Yeah.
For that particular program, students are required to be here on campus. They cannot study that particular program online.
So what happens, let's say, if they are not able to come to Canada? They have their study permits in hand, they have their passport stamp, they're ready to come, but the unfortunate situations may arise at any point of time, as
Yeah,
it is right now to the countries like India and Pakistan.
yeah.
So can they apply for an extension? Can they defer their admission to the next intake?
Um, we do have an option of extending the start date of the course. So let's assume if our start date is first, we can give an extension of another 2 weeks. A student can have the late arrival within the 2 weeks of starting the program, within the 2 weeks of start of the course.
Right.
However, if the student is not able to arrive in time, then we always have the option of deferring the intake. And the good thing is we have 4 intakes in a year, so they will not lose much time because the next intake will be probably within next 2 to 3 months.
Excellent. So that's brilliant to know. And you can provide them with this facility of having an extension with a valid reason, obviously, to as much as they would wish to otherwise, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Now, in terms of certain applications which they are not able to make that to the college because particularly of their visa refusal, you mentioned in your refund policy that you refund them. So how long does it take for you to refund that funds?
So our process is very fast. Let's assume if we have received the refund form from the student,
Mhm.
we can give them the amount within next 15 to 20 working days.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
that's excellent. That's really pretty much fast to an experience that I have with other colleges and universities that you have to go through much of a bureaucracy to reach to that stage. Um, Another question that comes down, I mean, like majority of them that you covered down, but just a refresher, I have people asking that how long does it take? So I think I can answer that. You just mentioned it's take 48 hours, obviously, to
Yeah.
have them receive the LOA. Others asked that what documents needed, and I think you pretty much answered that as well. What kind of documents are needed to initiate their application with you? Some other asked about now, this is one of a refresher question. One of the viewer is asking that can they have 100% scholarship, or if not, then are you considering any process in the future to have the 100% scholarships?
Um, it's a tricky one, to be honest. We do have certain scholarships where students get a grant from the government,
Right.
but it is only for the local students, to be honest.
Right.
The Canadian students, where they can get 100% grant from the government. However, if you are an international student, we can support you with 4,000 and 10,000 scholarship. But Travis Institute is a part of a bigger group called the Global University Systems, and they have a lot of universities and institutions under their umbrella. And we always come up with some unique scholarships. And if in case things go well, maybe we may announce some extraordinary scholarship, like probably full scholarship in future. But currently, we don't have any full scholarships.
Right. But at least you have it. That's great. I mean, to declare it up front, and hopefully you will have those students which you would really want to provide them with this kind of scholarships.
Yeah.
But this leads me to another question, saying that uh, can you describe one ideal scenario where you would not accept the application, that you'll reject the application?
In terms of rejection, to be honest, we only reject application if a student has submitted us documents which are not genuine.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the cases where we cannot accept the student. And apart from that, if the student has really, really low academics, to be honest, generally we do accept students with like 50% marks and above. But if the student has really, really low, probably like 35% marks, although it's still passing marks, but in those kind of cases, maybe not. But we do have the process of interview. If the student has really strong reasons and they say, okay, I'm really serious about studies and I want to study here, we can conduct a quick 30 minutes of interview with our associate director. And if things go well, maybe we can accept the student with low academics as well.
So that having said, I think you answered 50% of my next question. Actually, there's someone who's asking that really what to do. It's a question to guide them basically, and the
Mhm.
question is that really what to do if we have a education level and a scores which is little lesser than what is otherwise expected. So I think you answered that part of it. Um, to be minimum eligible for these programs, what are the prerequisites otherwise?
Because see, the course is collegial level.
Mm-hmm.
So the minimum requirement is somebody who has completed their 12 years of schooling.
Right.
That's the minimum requirement for this particular program. However, if the student has undergraduate degree or the master's degree, even they can study in this particular program.
Excellent.
So that's the only minimum requirement.
Right. And this is a little lighter question now, and it says that what is generally your class size for these two programs?
So the class size is the maximum is 25 and the minimum is 7 student.
Right.
Yeah. So
Wow.
we
So that's really
always
personal.
we always maintain that 7 to 25 student, because sometimes it happens, like especially in the audio and video French speaking program. First, it's a unique program, and then it's second, the French speaking. Generally, the class size is smaller, like 10 to 15 students most of the time.
Right.
But in other classes, we never go beyond 25 students.
Right. And the last question. So you've been really generous staying with us so longer, but just the last one now, from my end at least, saying that how do your students or international students generally manage their accommodation and to and fro from the airport? Because the very first time that they come to the city or the country, it's the vulnerable time, so they would need some hand for that purpose. So how would they usually manage that part?
So we also have student services team with us. And our student services team has partnered with a lot of different companies, including Air Canada. So if in case somebody wants to fly with Air Canada, we can also get them a discount with a discount coupon. Yeah. Generally, it's between 10 to 15% of their flying cost. Plus, we have also partnered with various accommodation companies here in Montreal. So if they want to live somewhere, we can help them in finding the accommodation. We have also partnered with the banks. So for example, we have partnered with Desjardins. So if the student is not in Canada and they still want to have want to open a bank account or something, we can support the student by opening a bank account for them. We have also partnered with insurance companies, taxi companies. So all different kinds of support is available for students. So they just need to remember our student services email. Whatever support they need, just write on that email, and we can provide them airport pickup, or they want to have the accommodation, they want to have banking services, credit cards. All these different support are available with our student services team.
That's brilliant to understand that part. Any last piece of advice from your end?
Not really, but I would definitely say it's COVID time. Always wear the mask and stay safe.
Excellent. We'll follow that. We are all safe right now in our offices and homes, for sure. Thank you so much for that advice. The students, the people who are connecting directly with me, to my network or agents across the whole world, from on behalf of all of them, obviously, we are thankful to you for having this time. The link is just underneath, guys. Just start straight away applying for this programs. They are really exciting to do that. And if you need any assistance, now you know that your majority of your questions been answered, but you cannot stop yourself. And I would be happy to answer you and bring that answers to you as well. Thank you so much at this stage, Vivek, for your time.
Thank you very much, Hardik. It was really nice speaking.
Hi guys, so as you saw, it was a pretty intensive in terms of information I can understand, but a little hospitality note that I would want to make at this stage. I have questions pouring in from multiple channels here. So this live stream that on YouTube, but it is also getting live stream on multiple social media platforms. And all those people who are questioning me on the social media platforms, I'm not able to address that, because my sincere apology for that. But obviously, because of the fact that I can manage one platform at a time. So for the future, I would request those viewers of mine to all get onto the YouTube, to connect with me and enjoy this kind of live sessions and be more sort of an interactive with me as well. So yeah, so there are so many people all across on multiple social media platforms right now witnessing this event, but only a few lot obviously is making it up to the YouTube. So but anyway, I am definitely going to address those concerns. I know this session is going way about a little time. 1 hour was allotted, so you're all free to obviously rejoin in the future. But for now, definitely I will answer the questions that you have posed to me, so stay tuned as well. There are questions coming to me, obviously from the aspect of the admissions. There are people asking me that what would be the academic scores that is supposed to go on. There are people asking me the questions about the scholarships. There are people asking me the questions about the language requirement and all that. I think majority of them, at least for the part of this session, was answered during the conversation with the college. But I'll try to bring on as many colleges and universities as possible to this platform so that you can learn out of it. So if even you are not connecting with this college or the university that I'll bring on to you, still you can gain so much of a knowledge out of it. Again, at this stage, it's only one thing that I would want to clarify, the fact that this is majorly to guide you across with the immigration questions. And when I say immigration questions, what I mean to say is that there are prospective students who would want their answers in terms of which programs to select, in terms of which college to select, in terms of where should I study in Canada, and stuff like that. So those are all the admission questions. So the people who is guiding you, the agents and the education consultants or the admission consultants, obviously they are the experts in doing that. But obviously I do not want to leave you behind just like that. So a little fact or a surprise up here for you at this stage. Number one, I'm going to be live again in the part 2 of this session, because part 1 has been really informative sharing. You can share these links to your friends who would want to connect with the part 2. And this is one of a kind of a session that I would want to promote in part 2, is the fact that if you have questions regarding your program, the DLIs, the scholarships, not particularly to any institutions, you can ask me over there, and I would be clear with my own research to guide you that how to go about it, but not withholding the fact that you should be guided for the purpose of immigration. So let me address the first question in terms of immigration. First is Swati asked me that what is going around with the student immigration. Are we able to come to Canada? So I think this question is more related to the travel restrictions to Canada and also the admission procedures. Now, as I said, the system is overloaded right now, but it has never been a time where the system was closed. So obviously in terms of your admissions, they are going in particularly in a way at it used to be in the pre-COVID situation, if you say. So as it used to be earlier is the same thing right now. People, there is no difference in you getting an admission. There is no difference in terms of you doing any other procedure to get an admission, even during this COVID situation. So that's first thing. In terms of travel restrictions, obviously you got to check with your country specific conditions how it is. I know for sure that there are multiple restrictions which are laid down on the flights from India and Pakistan. As we know, they are closed for 30 days, but that is a very, very temporary restrictions, as I could say. If you're looking for a fall intake, or if you're looking for a winter 2022 intake, I am so much optimistic that that's not going to be coming in your way. So keep it as simple that things are again normal, and it is going to be even normal in the future. Hope for the best, fingers crossed. It's going to be the best. If not, then you also heard about the refund policies of the colleges that I'm presenting. So that's going to go far with you, so to protect your money, to protect your admission, and to bring you out to Canada. So in terms of travel restrictions, just a quick snapshot that whichever country that you are, when you're traveling to Canada these days, you have a small procedure to inform the Canadian immigration before traveling, get a permission to travel to Canada. Once you arrive here right now, the norms are that you have to stay into hotel quarantine for let's say 3 days. The practical cost of it is coming around $1,000, though it has been said $2,000 to keep a safer margin, but it's coming around $1,000 for 3 days. The 14 days quarantine then after is also a way you have to explain your readiness plan or the quarantine plan with that. So you have to be careful with that procedure as well. But if you follow that procedure one after another, I think this is just an added layer of what you are otherwise supposed to do pre-COVID. So otherwise is no difference. So travel restrictions, yes, are there, but there are procedures. If you follow, you can come here and obviously you can continue. As I said earlier into this session, we are going kind of back to normal situation in few months to come. So we should, if you are pre-planning this activity, you should be okay. I really wanted to go with many other areas of discussion, as you could see from my presentation into it, that what's the time. So let's say, for example, we the immigration department is trying to go as standardized as possible. They declared they're going to take around 12 weeks for your study permit to be processed. So guys, you have to apply for your study permit on or before 15th of May if you're looking for a fall intake, which is a September 2020 intake. An additional procedure for getting a CAQ if you want to study in Quebec, which is again going to take a month. So very clearly what we're looking for right now is the applications for this particular college to come for winter 2022, which is January and all intake. But if you are to a country where this kind of procedures can be escalated, obviously you can email us with your documents and we will guide you accordingly. We do not want to keep you in any wrong loop or keep you waiting for that. The only one point is very clear, that you should do this procedure as much in advance as possible. And the second fact is that this procedures will take some time and understanding. So again, that one of the important area that I mentioned earlier as well was that we see here with the clear statistics that on 95% of the people who does study permit use an authorized representative. Well, unauthorized, I'll say, but use a representative, but the unauthorized numbers are quite high, as you could see here, and the authorized are quite low. What I mean to say from here is that if you are making your study permit application and if you're clear what you're doing with the immigration to Canada, do it yourself. That's one option. That's a legal option. The second part of it is, if you are not comfortable doing that, hire an authorized legal representative. And as I mentioned, it is available on the CIC's website. I would be also listed here on this website. So if you are going on the CIC's website, just connecting to the immigration consultants or regulated immigration consultants of Canada, and you can search for me as well. why I'm saying this over and over again is the fact that if you think you need some sort of a help or an assistance in immigration, obviously you can connect down. For this particular college, I'm going to represent, I'm going to advise, I'm going to help you for free. So why not to take that benefit? Even to the agent networks, even to the education consultants, the same thing. You are going to be passed on the same benefits as you would otherwise. So take my help if you wish to, and earn as much as you are otherwise earning, because obviously you guys are making a real efforts, and that efforts has to be rewarded. There is a great deal of energy, research, and expertise that goes into advising a student. So obviously I would want to be just an additional hand to make sure that you guys are doing the things that are in a right way, because if you are not a part of this immigration list, you cannot guide your students for immigration. You cannot even advise that, and I know for sure that many of you even don't know that, but it's illegal, and the Canadian Immigration Department is obviously at the back of it, and they are promoting it in a very big way on social media platforms, on their own CIC's websites, advising everyone to only take the help of the people who are authorized to do so. Okay, so don't put yourself into the risk. And the last thing that I would want to clarify in this session, that do not forget to subscribe. The one way to connect with me in the next session is to strictly subscribe to the YouTube channel. So it's just underneath, click the subscribe button or a bell icon and subscribe to this channel, and I'm all here for you for free. I will make sure that any questions coming out for the next session in advance, I make sure I'll answer that, because it is only going to be me and you in the next session. I'm not going to have any other colleges or universities to present. I would want to make sure that you are at a right direction in terms of selecting a correct program, in terms of selecting a correct DLI, the designated learning institution. How to do that, I'm going to explain you there in the next session. In terms of where to study in Canada, let me explain you that live, what is going on here around in Canada. How to avoid the visa refusals, because there are small tips and pieces you got to be very clear about. We are in a way the representatives, so we have an obligation to represent a correct case in front of the Canadian government. So anything wrongdoing is not possible. Make sure that you have a correct documents, make sure you fill the correct forms, make sure you don't have the refusal just because of those negligencies. And guys, there's too big a risk to give your information to someone who is not authorized to do that. Okay, we keep your data for a long time, and that's all protected, and that's again under the Privacy Act of Canada. So we make sure what we're doing is correct. But if so been the case, obviously you are free to connect with us for any kind of an advice. Again, that's all for free. I'm doing all this because I understand there is a great deal of frustration among the people who are outside Canada right now, and who are not able to make it to Canada. But guys, there is a right way of doing the things. Okay, if you just want to come here for the work permit purposes, if you just want to come directly here for the permanent residency purposes, you got to be a right candidate. And if you are, still again, in this COVID situation, it's difficult to travel. So why not to do the things in a right way? And if the right way is that Canada recognizes your education, I've seen ample of number of people who are coming to Canada on a permanent residentship basis and still studying here to start with. Once they study, they then can go to the market and seek for a regular employment. And that's how Canada is. Your education, your experience outside Canada is not readily recognized. So if so being the case, why not to do the things in a right way from day one? And the right way from day one probably could be, in your scenario, that you can come here for studies, studying a right program. And the moment you do that, I think you are on a right track of making a right career. I have questions again still with lying up with me. There's someone asking that if we study in a university, what are the chances of bridging it out to a PR? So guys, understand one thing very clearly, that obviously there are limitations. There are limitations to what you declare to the Canadian immigration. While you are coming here on a study permit, we would want everyone to be clear that they are just coming here for studies. And this continues with the fact that after your studies, you are supposed to explore the market, and that's why we are giving you the work permit, and see that how the Canadian market is good for you. Can you integrate yourself in the Canadian market? And that's the next step. And once that is done, obviously the very next step is, if you are really integrating yourself with the Canadian market, why not? We would want to keep you. And look at 2021. I mean, we are coming up with new policies and programs and so many different regulations that we are dealing with day in and day out in a different way than we used to be before. And all this to facilitate the people who are in Canada. So we love the people who come to Canada. We love the people who integrate themselves in a fashion that is required to do so. Okay. But having said that, I would want to end this session by saying that there are two areas. One is the admission. So all the questions related to the admissions, like what is your eligibility, what kind of programs you select according to that, what kind of colleges or universities that you share according to that, where should you study, and all this related to the admissions purposes. I know that I cannot come back and forth all the time, but I want to leave you with a guide so that tomorrow on YouTube you can refer back to that guide all the time and do the exact magic or the steps which are categorically been designed to guide you how to do the things right. So how to select your future studies in a right way. So that's why it's on 13th of May, the same time, 10 a.m. I'm going to be live in part 2 of this session, just explaining to you that anywhere in Canada, if you want to take admission, what is that you're required to do. And this could serve as a guide. But in the second part, the 50%, so this is something I'm going to do it for 30 minutes, and I'm going to be strict next time, okay? So 30 minutes, I'll explain you this step-by-step process, and it is going to be so easy then for you to select where to study. So a step-by-step process for 30 minutes. And 30 minutes, a clear 30 minutes of a time, I'm going to address one-to-one questions, which are so important questions. As a future students, you should know in terms of immigration. So in terms of immigration, I'm going to do that. So right now, I'm leaving you with two things. Number one, subscribe to this channel as soon as possible. Have your friends and a network to subscribe this channel as soon as possible to benefit out of my next session. That's one thing. The second thing is that, number one, if you are a student, want to apply, there are details given underneath. Just email your documents there and we'll straight away forward to the college and make sure that your application is getting accepted. We do not want to even take your application fees if you are not getting accepted. and the scholarships are there clearly for everyone. So the moment you are accepted to your admission, the scholarship is yours. So there is no extra mile for this college that you have to go to prove your eligibility to get a scholarship. That's there for you. The amount which is described is there for you, and I am there for you for free. So obviously, if you're doing through this route, I'll connect you through my route to the college, and then straight away within 48 hours you're going to get your LOA, the letter of acceptance, and I will help you free for immigration purposes. The same way goes to the agents, the consultants. You will get the same benefits out of this college as you would otherwise get by connecting with this college directly. So no problem. You can connect with them directly, or you can connect with them via me. You have a choice. Okay, but if you connect them with me, you are recognized by the college. So don't worry about that part. And number two, I am going to provide all my immigration services for free, and you know now that how important it is. So if you want to connect with me as an agent, there is a link again described here. Just log on to my website, and obviously you can fill out a form, and we can proceed from there onwards. So that's really out for me at this stage. I would like to really thank you all together for staying tuned and listening to me, and I hope that I was able to provide you with the kind of information that you wanted, and I would be even more precise in my next session with you. And that's all for free. So subscribe and let's connect next time. Thank you so much here from my end, from Bellwood Immigration team, from myself, and obviously from here in Montreal, Canada. Stay safe